In August 2003, 10 million Ontarians were without power from 2 days to over a week because of the Northeast power outage. In 2013, the flooding in July in Toronto, as well as the ice storm of December, 300,000 people again were without power for each incident, for 2 days to over a week. You need to put together an emergency kit. There are guidelines on federal sites as well as provincial and municipal. They each recommend that you put a 72-hour kit together. 72 hours because it could be that long until emergency crews can reach you or restore services. When putting together your emergency kit, you want to think about the demographics of your household. Mine is myself, my husband, and a 15-year-old son and our cat. There are lists on the federal site as well as the other sites of recommended things to have in your emergency kit. The first one I considered was water. 2 liters per person per day for drinking, and the same for cleaning. So for our 3-person household, it would be 36 liters of water, or 3 cases of water that you would require. And again, then you have to think about food. If you are staying in place because of a power outage, this is not such a hardship. If you are required to evacuate, however, suddenly you have the problem of carrying all these things with you. I found a site called 72hours.ca, and they offer an amazing emergency kit. You can customize it. The one I found was for 3 people for $179. It has pretty much everything you need. It has water and foil packages. It has a little granola bar meal replacement for food. It has a tent. It has sleeping bags. It has tools. It has some like toilet paper. It has rope. It has pretty much everything you need. The most exciting part of this kit is that it comes with an all-in-one, it's a radio, it's a flashlight, it's a beacon, it's a siren, and it can charge your through a USB charger ports. It can charge your mobile phones and laptops, and it cranks, so it doesn't need batteries. So this is amazing. So I'm ordering that. So that is good for evacuation. The 3-person kit is 2 backpacks, which leaves 1 backpack for our personal things and toiletries. If you were staying in your own home, obviously you have your own things to rely on. You would have candle and matches. You would have food items. In my emergency kit for home, I've included some granola bars, some beans. I've included some peanuts and some applesauce and other things like that. And of course, you would tend to have food for a few days in your pantry. So those are the things that would be if we were staying in the house. Again, the 72 hours kit would have things for evacuation. The other things in my kit, if we were staying in the home, would be I have a battery-operated radio, battery-operated flashlight, and of course, a lot of batteries. We would also have 3 cases of water, which would be downstairs. Now, if we are evacuating, I have everything in my backpack here. I have my emergency contact list. You can do this through the federal site. It's called the Emergency Plan. It has all sorts of contact names and phone numbers, places to meet if you're evacuated. Very useful. Go do it. Once you're done that, you're putting together your personal backpack. You can use this in-house or if you were evacuated. We have no special needs or medications in the household, but I included some Tylenol just in case. If you're on the move, you're going to want a change of clothing in your backpack. Fresh shoes, fresh socks, fresh clothing. You're going to want some dishes. Very good to have plastic so that they don't break. You're going to want some toiletries, hand sanitizer, I have sunscreen in here, I have wet wipes, I have several toothbrushes, toothpaste. I also have some tools in here that aren't included in the 72 hours kit. I have scissors, I have an all-purpose screwdriver. One thing I think is really useful that isn't on the 72 hours kit is a sewing kit. You never know when you're going to rip something, you're going to need to repair something. So besides all of the toiletries, I also have cat food. So besides all of these personal things, you're also going to need your personal documents. This is my personal document wallet. So it would have like passports, mortgage information, birth certificates, marriage certificate, all that sort of thing. It has some small change in it for making phone calls. And yeah, that's what's in there. So that's the personal backpack I would be taking myself. My husband and son would have the 2 emergency backpacks from 72 hours. I'm going to put up a graphic that shows what is in the 72 hours kit versus what we would be using at home with our own home supplies, and what would be used for both. So this whole project has made me think about a few things, perhaps ethically. Number one is this emergency kit I'm going to order through 72 hours. It costs $179 for 3 people, and it makes me wonder about those who can't afford that. I know in Toronto, in emergencies, they open up heating and cooling centers, sometimes if necessary. But if there were an evacuation, I worry about people. How would they get out? How would they be prepared? They might not have food or water, and the city would have to provide that for them. If there were an evacuation, it'd be even a larger problem. Do we have an obligation for our government to provide that to people who can't afford it? I also think about mobility. We have seniors living next door to us, and I do have to wonder if we were in an evacuation situation. I mean, obviously, if we're staying on site, we can check in on them, make sure they've got food and water. But in an evacuation circumstance, how would they get out? How would they be able to move quickly and effectively? And the other thing that this brought up was pets. I have a carrier for my cat. It's a rather large plastic carrier, and if we were evacuating in a panic situation, it would be very unwieldy. I definitely have to get a more soft-sided carrier. There are some pretty interesting options, which I will put up here for you to have a look at. But it makes me think that if there were an emergency situation, would I be able to take the animal with me? Would I leave it behind? I know Fort McMurray has had to deal with this situation. They've had some interesting solutions. I'm going to put up a link here. So these are just a few of the questions that this project has brought up for me. Perhaps you want to discuss them in the forum. We can talk about it a little bit more. But anyway, that is my emergency kit. Again, I'm going to put up a list of all the items that are in the kit I'm ordering from 72 hours, as well as the items I have at home and on site. So you can have a look at all of them in detail, because I don't have time to show them to you now. So I hope that was helpful, and please comment and let's discuss. Thanks.